I'm so excited that my new song, Anybody Out There, is out now. Today I wanted to give you a bit of behind the scenes to show you how I wrote the song and how I produced it. So yeah, welcome to my studio. I actually wrote this song downstairs in my living room on my piano. I looked in the back of my writing notebook where I keep some lyric ideas. I saw something about a line that said, "Flowers behind his back, yellow daisies." And this reminded me of when I was on the train and I saw a couple on a platform across from me, and there was this guy giving flowers to this woman, and it just made me feel really lonely, and it reminded me of different times in my life where I felt lonely, and not just loneliness for romantic partners, it's also loneliness for friends or for family. So that's kind of what inspired me to write this song. Let's start with, I'm going to show you the piano bits. So once I had all the piano arrangement written out and inputted into my Logic file here, I started to think about what kind of beats I wanted to have on the track. I came across this beat loop that I felt really inspired by. I'll play it here for you. So I really liked that sound. I thought it was really cool. I thought it would work really well for the vibe that I was going for. I decided to take that and thicken it out with snare samples and kick samples and all sorts of other percussive elements so that the whole of it sounds like this. Yeah, you can hear there how it's all about layering, really. It's all about using a lot of different interesting sounds to get the sound that you're envisioning in your head. After I had finished working with the beats, that's when I added in the bass parts, and I actually used several different bass parts to again layer and make that kind of sound that I was looking for. And here are all of the bass parts layered together. So you can hear in there I have a sub bass, I also have a wobble bass, and I have more of a synthy, higher frequency sort of bass in there too to give more of that sort of gritty distortion edge. I started producing all of this literally right after I had written the song, and I actually had an awful cold that day, but decided to get vocals down anyway because I thought I can always revocal at a different time later on. I didn't end up doing that because I actually felt most personally connected to the original demo vocal that I had done. This is what the vocal sounds like on its own.
Isn't anybody out there for me? Isn't anybody waiting like me? For someone I can hold, I can come home to. Isn't anybody out?
So you can hear in there I have quite a few different reverb effects in there. I'm a big fan of using different kinds of reverb to give a really atmospheric sort of effect. I'll play you a bit of the verse as well, actually.
Flowers behind his back, yellow daisies. Her face lights up like that, drives me crazy. 'Cause I'm all alone, 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 alone.
So once I had the lead vocal done, that's when I started to layer up with backing vocals and harmonies, which is one of my favorite parts of production. This is what all the backing vocals sound like on their own.
Out there for me. Isn't anybody waiting like me? For someone I can hold, I can come home to. Isn't anybody out there for me?
So with all of those parts done, that's when I started to do what I would consider the icing on the cake. So at the very, very beginning, all the synths, which sound like this, So a lot of these synth and drone sounds were actually made with the Rolly. A really interesting tool to use in the production and writing process because it's such an expressive instrument. You can actually control the dynamics and the expression just by moving up and down the keyboard and depending on the level of pressure of your touch. This is one of the sounds that I have at the beginning of the track. So I also had recently acquired iZotope's vocal synth, and I was desperate to try it out. And I wanted to sort of make a metaphor using weird vocal chops, sort of far away in the distance, to sort of contrast with this idea in the lyrics, isn't anybody out there? And yet there's all these voices in the distance swirling around, but they're just out of reach. So I'm going to play some of those vocal chops for you. So there we have a little bit of behind the scenes of how I came to write and produce Anybody Out There. I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody who has streamed and downloaded Anybody Out There, and all of you who have been messaging me and leaving really amazing comments. It's been incredible to see the reaction from people and to hear that you've been connecting with this song. It's amazing that a song that I wrote in my living room can reach so many people, and it means a lot to hear how it's impacted you, so thank you for that. I also wanted to say, for anybody who's London-based, that I have a gig coming up at St. James's Church, Piccadilly at the end of March. I would love to see you there. I'm playing on a grand piano, and I have my string section and band backing me as well, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, thanks so much for listening, guys.
Isn't anybody out there for